But it's
No,
streaming already.
not yet.
Ah,
It's
all right.
yeah, not yet.
So and Richards got cancelled.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's okay because they had Storm anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, they had Storm.
Yeah.
Oh, we're live now. Sorry. I'll let people in soon, though. Were you traveling, Andreas?
Yeah, actually, I've been traveling. I had weekends in Germany and in
Oh,
southern France one.
oh, nice.
That was just last weekend.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah, and
saw.
it's
I'm like
great.
busy guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's great fun to see people live again.
That's right. Yeah, must be
Cool.
nice, huh? I
Yeah,
I
very
did
cool.
I did one in BC. It's so good to do live. When you see people's faces, and
Yeah,
compared to like five screens. Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna let people in now.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Andreas.
Thanks. Cool. So, where's
Hello, everyone.
the
Imagination
Hello.
need separate in order for liberation to happen. But
Right.
Hi, Andreas.
All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm just gonna
Hello.
mute.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Nice to see you.
Hello, Andreas.
Hello. Welcome.
See you.
Welcome, everyone. So, so
Wie geht's?
sehr gut. Vielen Dank. Thank you. Will I start actually, or?
Yeah. There's something off with just a second. Okay.
All right.
With the controls there. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to non-duality.live. We have Andreas today for about an hour. If you have any questions, you can type the questions. And hello, YouTube. We're also streaming on YouTube. And Andreas, please go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Good evening or good day. Here it's evening. Welcome to the Zoom talk. I will give a short introduction on what this is about, roughly, and then everyone is welcome to have questions or leave a comment or stuff like that. So feel free to use the chat, or I think raise your hand is the best if you want to turn on the microphone and speak. We'll see how it goes. And the other thing that's maybe interesting or kind of important that I want to let you know in the beginning is that this isn't about anything. So there is absolutely no goal in this. And seen from the seeker, it absolutely doesn't make sense to participate in this. But the good news is that there isn't anyone really who is participating anyway, because there is no one. There's no separation. There is no separate entity. There is neither an I or a self or an individual or a self that's aware or a conscious or a soul. All those things don't exist. Well, in the end, they are just different names for the same illusion. And basically, that's what's being pointed to here, that I am does not exist. It doesn't have any substance. There is no one. That's what it means when it's said that there is no one. That this seemingly sense of presence, this seemingly felt sense of presence doesn't have any substance. It's not real. It does not exist. There is no one now here. That's the one side, apparently. On the other hand, what's being said here is that what apparently happens, is naturally whole and complete. It's this. It's just this. There is no hidden reality behind it. There is no absolute reality around it. There is no enlightenment waiting in the future. There is no liberation waiting in the future. It's just exactly as it is. There is no second layer. There is no parallel or hidden reality. There is no absolute reality. There's just this. And this is whole and complete. And any idea of an additional realization to this, like, I get it, or I've arrived now, is part of that dream. I am someone, I'm separate, I'm on a path, and I need to additionally realize something. This whole setup isn't real. This whole setup doesn't exist. There's absolutely nothing to gain anywhere, neither here nor anywhere else, so to speak. It's whole and complete, and it will never be more whole and complete. It's a contradiction. Wholeness can't become more wholeness. It's impossible. So what the person is looking for does not exist. It's not that it can't find it. It doesn't even exist. This whole reality doesn't exist. I'm separate and I need to find something I am in the first place. No, there is no one. As there is no one, there is no teaching. It's not an intellectual mind game, or it's not a philosophy, or it's not that a teaching is not allowed for some reason. No, there just is no teaching. There's no separate person. Sitting in front of a screen can't be learned. Sitting in front of a screen doesn't need to be learned. Sitting in front of a screen, being whole and complete, can't be learned or can't be achieved. It's already the case, if you want. All right, let's start. William.
Hi, Andreas.
Hi.
So when I'm listening to you give the introduction, what I'm really finding difficult is how all the speakers who communicate this apparent message sound so different. You sound nothing like Emerson and you sound nothing like Tony. There's one or two words that might be similar, but it's so your own style and your own characteristic in the way you communicate. And that gives me nothing to grab onto as far as looking for consistency or a truth.
Yeah, if you want so, yes. Yeah, it's quite obvious. It just hasn't anything to do with a certain way of being. It has nothing to do with Tony or Andreas or anything or anyone. It's not about something that is in a certain way. What apparently happens, how it apparently is no thing. It's not something that's the same or that can be grasped and hold on to. Yeah.
But if we say that, well, I may disagree, I don't know. If we say that the communication, let's just say that you're sharing or Tony's sharing or whoever, is the same communication, then that means it's purely an energetic sharing. Would you agree?
Well, it's a non-communication. Nothing is really communicated, so...
But what's the feeling of the resonance? What's the feeling of the resonance? Isn't that part of the communication?
Oh, no, that's just what apparently happens. It's, again, not a real circumstance that can be known.
But this kind of resonance, I assume, wouldn't be experienced during the teaching of a spiritual teacher, for example.
Yeah.
Or you think it could be the same?
Probably. No, it would just be what apparently happens there.
Basically, I'm trying to work out what this message is about, and yeah, it hasn't stopped.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. I mean, if I would know, I might even answer it. I just have no idea myself. So
I think I'm trying to really get to the core of the heart of what this communication's saying, and it is empty. So,
oh yeah, exactly. There is no core or the heart of anything, neither of this communication nor of reality itself, nor there just is no core. There just is no how it really is. I know the person wants to dig deeper and deeper and deeper and hopes that at one day it'll arrive at the truth. In the end, no matter if it seeks for itself or seeks the truth or wants to know what this communication is or whatever, it's digging into something that's not even real, this reality.
would you say it's a bit, because this is how it feels to me, trying to understand this communication is almost like you've got a hat and the hat's empty, but you think there's like little toys and sweets in the hat. And if you put your hand in, eventually you'll grab a sweet, but you just keep getting nothing.
Yes, why not? But and now the whole scenery without a hat even.
But there's still someone grabbing.
Apparently, only apparently. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? Where's the call?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Eric.
Hi, Andreas. How are you?
Hi. Yeah, fine. Thanks. Hi.
Great. I don't have a question. I just wanted to say hello. And I wanted to say, I love you, Andreas. I think you're awesome. And, you know, there's nobody there. There's just an apparent Andreas, but still, I appreciate that thing that exists. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm especially in front of the screen. I'm quite okay. But thank you. Thanks.
Cool. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for saying hello. Klaus.
Hello, Andreas.
Hi.
Hi. I think that when I'm listening to you, and it just feels like everything is okay, but the only thing that it is kind of like keeping maybe the illusion with alive is that the I am, like there is something that should fall away. So can you just please elaborate a bit on the I am and how it works, and how you can maybe help me to see through it, or like make it drop, or if there is anything you can like lighten on that.
Yeah, well, in the end, that's the impossibility even, to know the I am, to know oneself and to know how the I am functions in order to get rid of it. All of that would already be in the dream. And there just is no one. It's exactly this I am, which isn't real. And one could say when this illusion is happening, apparently, it's not even a real illusion, it's only an apparent illusion, then there will be the sense of seeking for whatever, to destroy the me, to find money, to have a relationship, to have power. There is just seeking going on. Whenever there is the sense of I am, there is seeking. And it's impossible to see through that. The eye can't see that it is an illusion. Because in order to really see through the illusion, you again would need a real eye, which could do so.
Yeah.
But there is no one in the first place. So all seeking is just part of the dream. And as a story, one could say liberation is the collapse of that whole setup, but for no reason at all. It has absolutely nothing to do with someone seeing something, with someone becoming aware of how illusory the me is and stuff like that. No, it's just the collapse of this whole thing. And seen from the person, it rather looks like death than any kind of realization, than anything that the person thought it's worthwhile, which always has something to do with awareness. For the person, liberation, fulfillment, enlightenment has always something to do with me becoming aware of something, that everything is whole, that I'm not real, something. But me being aware is the dream.
Yeah, because I can feel now when these days I feel like there is it's like a sense of the illusion is there, the I am is there, but it's not like taken so seriously anymore. Like it's more like just going on, and then it's just playing its own way. But I still feel that maybe there's something that should happen with that. So that's probably I think I'm trying to like as you mentioned, it's impossible to do that, like to get to know the I am, but it still feels like like I'm just partly seeing through it, or that it's not so real anymore. You know, feelings come and go, and then when they're not seen as personal, it's easier just to let them be there as they are.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, it's impossible, as I said, to know the I am. I am that I exist. I'm aware of being. I am that is illusory, and it can't ever be known.
No. Okay. Thank you, Andreas.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay, I just do a question from the chat. Hello, Andreas. Can there be an apparent God? Well, sorry, I think apparent God is already quite poor God. Yeah, apparent. Sorry, it's a purely theoretical question, and there's just no answer to this question. There isn't anything that could really understand and comprehend that question. It's only theoretical. I mean, theoretically, there could be anything, kind of, but actually nothing at all, because nothing is real. So there isn't something happening, so there can't be another something. Okay, William.
Yeah, so basically, nobody knows. The me has like a relationship with itself. Like, I'm aware that there is someone, or I'm aware there is a me.
That's the dream.
But there's no one aware that the sense of me arises.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. It only knows itself. I am, I exist, only seemingly knows itself. Nothing else does that. Nothing else in this whole apparent universe takes notice of the birth of me. It's absolutely unrecognized by anything except itself, so to speak. And this self-recognition is dreamt. That's the dream. I experience myself, therefore I must exist. But nothing even takes notice.
So because there's nothing there, and you might say there's nothing here, but there's nothing there and no sense of anything there. So if this body says, I'm a me, and I feel separate and blah, 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 that's just heard as empty words.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, totally. Of course. It doesn't say anything.
But with the brain there, then articulate, okay, so there might be suffering or a sense of lack, or does it just literally, it's just the words, I feel like I'm a me who's separate?
Yes, absolutely. There is no comprehension of those words. They don't mean anything.
Thank you.
A question: how is it that so few people realize this? Is it because few hear this is a possibility? Well, I don't know if it's really so few. Maybe, well, I've no idea. It's just what apparently happens. There is no real reason for that. Well, I mean, and of course, there is no one realizing it. It's one could say just people die, and people seem to die at all ages, and but for no reason. So. Is there a non-dual course with a qualification at the end? Well, no, not here. I can, for $100, I can write you a paper if you want. A paper which says something like, he did not participate and he didn't get anything at all. Would that be something you like? Anyone can have that, by the way. Right away, just send an email. No one has to wait until the end of the call. It's already like that. That's the natural reality. There is no one there and no one gets anything. Because what happens is whole already. It doesn't contain something that people can take away or that you can take away. It's empty by being whole and complete, by being everything already. Okay, I get some questions from the chat. There is only an appearance. That's not much to learn. Yes, and in the end, it's an apparent appearance only, so it can't be learned at all. Okay, Eric.
Hey,
Hi.
again, I don't really know what I'm saying, but there's this desire to speak, and I used to have this feeling like I wanted to convey this non-message to my father because he doesn't like get it, but there's no one anywhere, and there's no space, no location, no movement, no change, nothing to do anything with. So it just feels like it's not even shouting into the abyss. It's just not even an abyss. It's just an absence. So then I'm just sitting here, and there's whatever is happening, wherever I happen to apparently be, and whatever I happen to apparently be saying and doing. And there's no predicting it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And it appears to happen, but there's nothing to say or do. And I have no clue why I find myself in these meetings, except for I seem to enjoy it. Yeah, so again, not a question, just not even a conundrum, just it feels like an eraser for the mind. Everything that I try to think or do, it's like not even negated, it just is made moot.
Yes, yes. It's just empty. It's what happens, it's what apparently happens, but it's empty. And yes, you're right. There's no conundrum. There's no negation of anything. There's not a path. This doesn't try to say something, add something, take something away. It's just equally like everything else, what apparently happens. Yeah. And you can't tell this to anyone. It's not a personal message. It doesn't work. Just what you said in the beginning with your father. It's an impossibility. It's not telling someone, hey, I want to let you know that there is no me, please get it or understand it. This will be good for you. No, no, it's impossible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I love the word already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's an apparent description, this message, which no one needs. It doesn't add anything. Yeah. It just points out that everything is already whole and complete.
Yeah. And it really is, I think, as William said, the message can have a different sort of a flavor from each speaker, but the communication being from nothing, it is a nothing message. It's just not even speaking from that place, because there's no place. It's just again, I just have this image in my head of like an eraser for any concept, but it doesn't take away concepts. It just, the only word I can think of is moot. It's just yeah. So yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to say. Thank you, Andreas.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. Thank you. William.
It just feels like I'm in a constant fight with everything that's happening. And most of it's mental, or it might be energetic, I don't know. But there's just a constant, incessant need for everything to be different in some way. I know that's what seeking is, but it seems like it never really rests, does it?
Yeah, one could say so, yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's apparent experiences. I'm now here, and this I'm not fulfilled, or this doesn't fulfill me. So I quickly have to move on to the next, because maybe the next moment gives me something. That's the promise that every new moment has. Maybe there I can find something that I can use. Maybe I even get liberated in the next moment. Maybe. But at least something I can take with me.
But even when the me feels it's getting what it wants, what it's seeking for, it's still got to be there doing something with that, like knowing how good it is or enjoying it or whatever. It's
absolutely. Yes, whenever there is someone, there is some kind of seeking, processing, owning, trying to hold on to, trying to move on. Some processing of this moment, so to speak. Or, well, in the end of its own illusion, what it believes that it has achieved or gained. Yeah, of course.
So that constant activity and busyness of what trying to do something with what's happening is obviously the seeking that drops. That's the seeking he drops. Or...
Yeah, but by turning out that there is no seeker in the first place, it's not even that the seeking drops for someone. It's someone drops and automatically the seeking as well. Because someone, apparently, and the seeking, they go together. They are not, there isn't someone who is seeking and who could get rid of seeking. I am is seeking.
Yeah. It's like I've said it before, but it's impossible for me to think of this any other way than there's an Andreas who's now in a rested state or something.
Yeah, that's the thing. The seeker isn't replaced by someone who rests or who has found. In the end, those are both personal experience. I seek something, I get an answer, and I get the illusion of rest for a moment. But it's not satisfying, so I go on a path, and then I get, yeah, so it's just the death of that. There is no one here. I'm not at peace. I'm not resting. There's no one there. That's the peace, but for no one.
You can't even say there's a body at rest because nobody's there knowing it.
Yeah,
no one's there knowing that seeking has ended.
Yes, exactly. There's just no one there seeking, but no one has survived this and who has found or can report. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
So how do...
No, I don't.
No, but like, how does the message come out if nobody knows they've stopped seeking?
Oh, it's just what apparently happens. There's no need for it. It could be anything. I'm not doing it. It's just coming out.
Okay.
It's just apparently an honest reply to the questions about what goes on there. Oh, there is no one. Well, it doesn't even really come out. It's not that I go through life and shout out on the street or something. There's no one. Hey, hey. There's no one here. No.
Yeah. Probably best not to. Thank you.
Yeah, probably quite good. That's why I'm still free. Okay. God's plan.
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm just wondering, I've been wondering this a lot lately, actually. Does this happen to non-spiritual people? So people that aren't looking for it?
Yes, definitely. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I know a lot of people who had at least a first glimpse or an awakening, a moment where there is no one, where there is absolutely no spiritual story before that. Many people then afterwards start seeking spiritually because something seemed to have happened that isn't explainable anymore. But liberation too doesn't need a spiritual path.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So the way I'm looking at this is it's less of a spiritual thing and more of just a human like function thing. Yeah.
Exactly. This message isn't spiritual. It's not a spiritual message. Yeah. And I mean, whenever there is someone, seeking takes place anyway. And I would almost say it's the same amount of seeking, no matter if you work on having a career and try to be happy through that, or if you want to have 3 kids and a secure life, or if you want to become enlightened. For me, it's kind of the same amount of seeking, just in different directions. And
So the experience is just different.
So to speak, one seek in that, one seek in that. One very simplified, one could say some people seek outside, some people seek inside. This would be the realm of spirituality.
Right.
In that sense, this message, it doesn't also speak especially to, well, it doesn't speak to people at all, but it's not especially for spiritual people. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay. I guess I'll leave it off on that.
Yeah, thanks. Cool.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, in that sense, spirituality is just one realm where the person seeks fulfillment in.
It's just another label, so to speak, right?
Yes, another area of the personal life.
Right. Okay.
Well,
thank you.
Thanks.
But Andreas, there never was a seeker.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing. Even in this apparent illusion of seeking, no seeker is in there. There isn't anyone. Well, never.
And there's no one who will know that either.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, who knows that? Who cares? Yeah.
That's why sometimes straining to understand what you're saying is almost like being spiritually constipated. Relax. He's not saying anything. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks. Klaus.
Yeah, so then like if there's seeking going on, then there's just seeking going on. It's nothing more, nothing less.
Yes. And it's equally whole and complete as everything else, but it's whole and complete for no one.
Yeah.
Totally. Yes. Yeah. And this message or this event doesn't try to change something or make something going away. It's an impossibility anyway, because it's whole and complete exactly as it is right now.
Yeah.
For no one.
Even when it seems to be at its worst or at its best, it's always whole and complete. So it's never about the quality of what is inside of the illusion.
Absolutely, totally. I mean, this quality would be dreamt anyway by the apparent me, which tries to add meaning and levels of importance and quality to it. Nothing has a real quality anyway.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I had one kind of glimpse with the feelings and the story about me, because I think it's so easy to take like the feelings to be personal and to be something which is coming because I'm thinking in that way and it's connected to the way I'm thinking. But just to see that feelings are just coming and going as well as everything else, then it's no connection between the feelings and the thoughts. Then there is nothing to figure out about the feelings anyway, because it's just feelings.
Yes, exactly. All of that is undivided, what apparently happens. Totally. Yes. But in the end, no one is seeing that. It's just,
Yeah, it just appears. So it kind of makes the,
Yeah, and I mean, the person takes everything personal. My experience, whatever the person believes to be aware of, I'm aware of thoughts. I'm aware of feelings. I'm aware of sitting in a room. That already is taking it personally, so to speak. But that's all the person knows. I'm here and I experience something.
Yeah.
That's
and when that happens, it's still complete.
Yes, but for no one. Oh, totally, of course.
Yeah.
It never really happens. It's just the illusion of that, which is apparently happening. For no one.
So you can say that it's either complete or non-complete. It's just this.
So to speak, it's blindly complete all the time. Yeah, but for no one.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Nothing.
Hi, Andreas.
Hello.
Hi. So it's always complete. That's that wholeness.
Yes, but for no one. It's timelessly whole and complete, actually. But yeah.
Can there be a conflict?
Yeah, of course. Apparently.
Yes, of course. Everything is apparently.
Yes. And conflict just is what it is. That's fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And when the angriness every time it's come back.
Yes.
That's also wholeness. I know that already, but it's you don't want to.
I'm pretty simple-minded, actually. Yes, it's a wholeness too. Yeah. But as what it is. So when there is a deep conflict, that's what apparently happens, and it's naturally whole and complete. It's not actually, it is wholeness and not the apparent conflict anymore. The apparent conflict is whole and complete. That's all there is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. I have questions in the chat. Andreas, don't you just love the wording, deep sleep dreaming? Yes, that would be sitting in front of a screen, but for no one. I mean, that's the thing. Someone said before, things appear as if they were something, or it looks like that. Well, yes, but for no one. So it's not that sitting in front of a screen appears to be real or something. No, there isn't anyone to whom this appears. It's just what apparently happens. How would people know I was non-dual if no way of confirming it? Oh, there is no confirmation, of course. There is no confirmation of anything because there is no reality that can be confirmed. There not being anyone is not a circumstance that can be confirmed or that someone can experience or be aware of. So sitting in front of a screen being exactly what it is, it doesn't need any confirmation. It doesn't know about itself. It doesn't experience itself anyway. So what would be the confirmation about? There is no confirmation of anything at all. Sometimes this type of non-dual message causes me fear. I'm thinking this is scary. Something is lost. Yes, you and your life. But if you guys are right, then what feels fear? Yes. Well, apparently it's wholeness appearing as the illusion of I am. And this I experiences itself to be autonomous. I'm alive. I'm now here and I have a life. I am alive. I have a life. And that's mine. It belongs to me. I own that life by being alive. And all the seeking, all the hopes, all the promises that existence seems to offer are part of that illusion. And for the person, its stories and dreams and hopes and its presence are very, very precious. It's all it has on the one hand, but it loves it. The person loves to be me because being me opens up the possibility to become an enlightened me. So, of course, pointing out that there is no one and pointing out that those things don't exist can be scary on the one hand, and can give the impression that something will be lost or can be lost. Of course not. Those things don't exist. Okay, William.
Yeah, you're regularly saying in these meetings, for no one, like when you refer to like the seeking ends but for no one, or there's just what appears but for no one. So I thought to myself, so if it's for no one, then that's obviously death. There's no one there. But I still think of death as something opposite to what I experience now.
Of course, because what you experience is that you are something that's alive. And of course, within the illusion of life, death seems to be the opposite. Presence and absence seem to be two circumstances. Of course.
So the actual death the person fears because it thinks it's the opposite. Like, say, for example, I'm going to go into unknowing, but now there's knowing, so it's an opposite. So I'm afraid of it because I don't know it. But there's really nothing to be afraid of in terms of death because it's not a real opposite. Would you say that?
Of course. Oh, that's all part of the dream. I'm alive. I could die. I love life. I'm afraid to die. I need to be alive because I want to find fulfillment and I want to whatever. Oh, yeah, that's all part of the dream, of course. Yeah.
So when you appear to fall away,
when I died.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We call it death.
Let's be clear. When you
When you
appear
died.
to fall away. Yeah.
That so that wasn't the opposite of what happened before.
Oh no, not at all, because actually no one dies. It's I can't explain it. It's the turning out that this presence is without substance. This presence never was real. Even I am is never answered with the death of I am. Presence is never answered with an absence, with a mysterious absence. It's the miraculous turning out that the presence wasn't real in the first place. It doesn't even become absent.
And that's why you could say there's no such thing as death.
Exactly. Because
Only to the person.
Yeah, because there was no such thing as life in the first place. I am is a dream. It does not happen. No one is. There is no I that is. Nowhere, already, anywhere. It's not there. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Andreas.
Thank you. Okay, Nikki.
Hi.
Hi.
I apparently have always been very concerned with like the government and conspiracies and the Illuminati and needing to expose that to people. Feeling like I needed to tell everyone about it, not like crazily yelling on the streets, but it's just been something that I always talked about in the news. Has always felt like hollow to me and weird, like a show on the TV. But now, after finding this message, like it feels like they have no actual power because everything is actually just chaotic and random and it's not real anyway. So.
Well, yeah, totally. Absolutely. Of course. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, lovely. One doesn't have to invent an alternative truth if the mainstream truth doesn't even exist. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andreas, that part you talk about, the part that loves life and doesn't want to die. But the opposite is the individual who was so glad to hear they didn't exist and the life wasn't real, and for many years wanted to die. And here I'm speaking, here's this message like, oh, thank God. Okay, great. I can die and enjoy what's left.
Exactly, that's the thing. The person doesn't really want to die. It wants to get rid of all its suffering and all the things that it thinks that's disturbing. But itself, it doesn't really want to die.
Well, right.
It has to. That's fine. But yeah.
Well, to me, that was sort of like I was like, oh shit, wait a second. That means I'm going to die. I don't get to hang around and enjoy anything. That means, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
It's a bit like, well, it's a bit like if you wanna get drunk, so to speak. No one really aims for the blackout. It's the half hour before the blackout that's the fun. That's what the person is looking for. To get rid of all the stories, to be totally unleashed. But blackout, no. But seen from the person, that's what liberation is. The end of me. All right. If this message doesn't try to change something, why anyone would try to communicate it with anyone else? Oh, well, it's not happening. I'm not communicating something to you. It's just what apparently happens, like anything else. The earth, clouds, feelings, cars. It's just what apparently happens for no real reason. Jim.
Hi, Andreas from California.
Hi.
Wie geht's?
Ja, sehr gut. Danke.
I'm always reluctant to talk about this thing that just happened because I feel like I'm bragging, but something that somebody else was saying a minute ago really got me going. I've also been one of those guys who's really interested in the conspiracies and very upset about the super rich who run the world.
Oh.
Yeah. But something happened recently. I don't want to go through the whole story, but I had this experience of losing the me. Okay, it fell away. I don't want to go into that whole story, but it was so subtle. But the thing I noticed almost immediately afterwards was I was sitting at my desk just like this. I might have been at a Zoom meeting. I don't remember exactly, but I suddenly realized that everything simply happens. Nobody's doing it. Nothing does it. It just simply happens. so I love that because, and the other thing that was weird about that experience, I'm trying to describe it in a sort of a simplified way. But when the me was gone, I noticed that I didn't need to know why things happen. Oh, it was almost as if there was no need or even an interest in knowing the answer. I didn't need an explanation or description or anything. It was weird. And I felt this incredible freedom. I felt like I was out of a box. Now, the I I'm referring to here wasn't a personal I. The personal I had just disappeared. I don't know how to describe all that, but so I thought I'll test it. So I went outside to ride around on buses. I don't drive anymore. So I was going to go out and ride around on buses. And I noticed the same thing. The bus was just happening. The guy driving it was just happening. It was weird. The people on the bus were just, it was almost psycho. So going back to the super rich people who run the world, it's just happening.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh yes, there are no people. Oh, absolutely. Totally.
Russia's invading Ukraine, just happening.
Well, apparently, yeah.
It's almost hysterically funny now. Since this dropping thing occurred, I've gone back to the meaning and being, the drama of. What's another curious thing about it now is that when the me returns, I don't believe it. It's like it's no longer believable. It's not like I'm pushing it away or saying get off, buzz off, but it's a weird experience of not only was there never a me, the one that comes back, it's like Santa Claus. Okay, I don't believe in Santa Claus. I used to, but I don't. And that's kind of what the me is like Santa Claus. I said, oh, it's you again. Well, big. I'm trying to make a story out of this thing that really wasn't a story, but.
Oh no, it's both. On the one hand, it is what apparently happens.
But the beautiful relief in the whole thing was to realize that things simply happen. And I mean, see, for myself, it's no longer just a theory. It's no longer just an interesting story that I heard from you or from Emerson or somebody else. It's almost like a little bit weird, like things just happen.
Well, yeah, when it then actually is like that, it's still quite unexpected how that actually is, that things just apparently happen. Yeah, no one's doing them, and they aren't even real in that sense. Yeah,
I can get really upset about political stuff, in the world, the UFOs, aliens. I have quite a deep interest in the psychic realm, but it's the same thing. No matter where you look, it's just happening. And the other funny thing about it is, because it's a mystery, I don't need to have an answer. I don't want you to give me an answer. I have your book there. Your book has answered most of my questions, but I no longer have this incredible urge to go in there and look for the answer in your book. Where's the answer, man?
Yes.
It's like as if when this self or this me is gone, everything becomes, I don't know how to put it, simpler, I guess is one way of saying it. So
absolutely. Yes.
That's my contribution to the cause here.
No,
I'm going to hang up.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to hang up now.
Yeah, thank you. Oh yeah, of course. This whole idea of I need to seek something, I need to find an answer. There is an explanation for the world. I can find this explanation, and all this, the whole seeking setup only happens for this illusion of I am. There is nothing real to it. It's not needed of any kind to seek, to know, to inquire, to dig deeper, and all those things. It's all just part of the dream. And yeah, when that drops, apparently, or when it turns out to be a dream, of course, everything just is what it is. And it's not only that there is no answer needed, in the end, there is even no one there having a question. It just doesn't come up. It's impossible to ask, what is this? What is the truth in the universe? When there is no one, this whole question can't happen anymore. God's plan.
It's like, how can we see outside of this when we are this, when there's no outside of it?
Exactly. Well, all the person knows is the dream. So the person seeing outside of itself won't happen. And when there is no one anymore, nothing is seen anyway. So this whole concept of seeing outside, seeing how it really is, moving on from illusion to clarity or from illusion to truth, all that only takes place within the dream. There is no seeing of anything. There is no arriving in the truth or stuff like that.
Yeah, there's no goal. There's no gaining.
Absolutely. Totally. Yes.
Well, why does it keep coming up in my mind that I've gone off the deep end?
That you've, again?
That I've gone off the deep end, that this is like crazy person stuff.
I have no idea.
I mean, this definitely doesn't fit the mainstream, you know?
Yes and no. The concept doesn't fit the mainstream, but what this talks about is also the mainstream. But I know what you mean. This,
right. It's like this back and forth, like, am I going too far sometimes, you know?
Well, of course, seen from the person, it can feel like that, because seen from the person, death is having gone too far.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's actually that far no one really wants to go. So, of course, this impression can come up. Right.
I've noticed it seems as if our whole thing that we do in life is to avoid death.
That's another way of putting it. Seeking is an attempt to survive the moment and to arrive in the next moment. Stay active, be aware, be conscious, inquire, do something, to not be overwhelmed by life, by feelings, to survive it. Yes, in that sense, the whole seeking is to avoid dying in this moment. Not conscious. No one does it unconscious. That's just what apparently happens. But one could describe it as that. Yes.
Well, and if dying is inevitable anyway, why fight it? Like, why try to push away from it if it's going to happen?
Yeah, you're right in a way, but you can't make it logically. That's the thing.
You can't make it happen.
Exactly, and you can't convince the person that it would be better to relax because the person's instant experience is unfulfillment, and it just wants to survive to find fulfillment before death. That's what what life is about.
Fulfillment of what? Of what though?
Hey, of course, it's all part of the dream. Of course. Yeah.
Like, right. I start to think like what my goals are, then I start to think even a layer deeper, like, why am I pursuing the goals? And there's just no reason. There's no actual reason.
Yeah. I don't have goals anymore.
Right? It's like less and less. The passion just goes away.
what the person would regard as passion, namely its presence and vividly following its goals, realizing its dreams. That's what the person would regard as passion. Yeah, to be alive as me and to, follow one's dreams. Yeah, of course.
And it also links back to like this idea of like, am I wanting to achieve these goals simply so that I can like be above or look better or look cooler? And that too is like an illusion as well.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, nothing is worth the stress, one could say. What happens is totally fine. It doesn't get better by, I don't know, talking oneself into a spiritual state or meditating oneself into 10 minutes of silence or whatever. It's, of course, if you want, you can do that, but what for? It's really for nothing.
Yeah. So things can be just as fulfilling if you live like a minimalist lifestyle, like in the middle of nowhere, in comparison to like a billionaire who has everything.
Yes, one could say so. But it's what I mean, what apparently happens is naturally whole and complete. But you will never get a fulfilled person, neither in poverty. I mean, there are monks and people turn poverty into a lifestyle, or humble. I don't know, poverty is maybe the wrong word, or richness. You will never find a lifestyle that fulfills. That's impossible. But what apparently happens is naturally whole and complete for no one.
Yeah. It also, like you just said about the monks who adapt this lifestyle, it makes me wonder, why don't we all just like stop trying then? Why don't we all just go homeless and just, you know?
Because there is no one.
Right, yeah, we couldn't choose it anyway.
Yes, exactly. There is no one who chooses to be a me and seek. There is no one who could choose to not be a me and stop seeking. It's all already blindly happening. Yeah. I mean, that's the interesting thing. That's the interesting turning out, that actually in seeking, nothing is lost. And in liberation, nothing is gained.
Yeah, it's both. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like both things exist at once, so there is no duality because they're both there at the same time.
Yes, presence and absence aren't separate, so to speak. Yeah.
And they don't take away from each other, and they aren't good or bad.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's also scary, and it's not a bad thing.
Yes, for the person it is it can seem scary, but in the end, sitting in front of a screen isn't scary. It just is what it is.
Right.
Yeah. But of course, within this experience of the person, apparent experience of the person, there can be fear. Absolutely.
Yeah, and you feel it in your whole body too. It's like this, how do they say, contracted. You feel that contracted. I don't know.
Yes, for the person, it feels real, and nothing can be done about that. That's just how it feels. I am, and whatever. I'm afraid, I'm happy, or whatever. But also, I'm afraid. It just feels like that. No way out, so to speak.
Right. Well, okay, that about covers it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. And maybe last question. Nikki, yes.
Okay, so I'm definitely still here, like as a person, but I think I'm apparently having like multiple glimpses or like hours where I'm not here, I guess. But I was thinking like sitting in nature feels very beautiful and full and like alive and amazing. But then like going to a busy grocery store is like feels more fake or like like more like a hologram, like more illusory almost. I don't know why. I was wondering, because do you think that some things feel more hollow than others? Probably not, because that's duality.
Yeah, to be honest, I couldn't confirm that from my head. No, I've
Yeah.
no. Well, it's right, because I wouldn't even say that things feel unreal or things feel hollow, because in the end, there's just no one there, and what's left is what it is and is unknowable. So I don't even really can discriminate between different levels of hollowness
Yeah.
or vagueness or
Yeah, that's got to be
Ma-
the meme, right? Just
Yeah,
making a
well,
story of it.
well, apparently, in the end, that's just what apparently happens. How it is for you, apparently, just is what apparently happens. So it's fine. I don't know if there's a me involved or not, really, so to speak, because it's just what seems to be happening there.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Andreas. That was epic. Thank you. Everyone, you can mute yourself up. This weekend is Andreas' event. If you guys want to join that, it's 2 days. It's nonduality.live. Everyone can unmute yourself and say bye, Andreas.
Maybe I can.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, not yet, not yet. Sorry, go ahead, Andreas.
Just one more sentence. I just say one more sentence.
Oh, go ahead and unmute yourself, Andreas. Sorry.
I just want to say a last sentence or something. Thank you very much for joining. There's absolutely nothing to do or to not do. There's no suggestion of any kind. What happens is just naturally whole and complete. Can't be learned, doesn't need to be learned. Can't be achieved, there's no one separate from what apparently happens. Thank you very much. I wish you a lovely time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.